Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cyber Power of Tigray Media. Tonight, I have Samhan from Denver, Colorado, and I have Angusam from the Bay Area. And Mike, obviously, we are the Tegaru, who's been preparing for these global protests coming up Thursday. Javad is going to join us here in a sec from Los Angeles, California. And our main topic tonight is the SJT Diaspora Young Tegaru leading the grassroots movement throughout the West. Somehow, obviously, you all know, Angusam, they've been at it nearly every protest, every major protest. They have dedicated their lives, balancing life with fighting for Tigray. I told somehow how much I'd love the hat she's wearing, Tegaru, and it's got Tigray flag on the side. So somehow it's got one of the amazing chanting voices that I had the opportunity to share here and there with our mass back in the beginning, like in New York and DC, and on Gusum, we meet regularly every Friday in our Zoom meetings, and we became like a family. So as a family, we are working together. As a team, we are working together. As Tegaru, we fighting together. For what? For the injustice and for the genocide in Tigray, and for the drones that are sold to Ethiopia or supplied to Ethiopia to kill civilians in Tigray. So I am showing on the screen, on my screen, the global protest call to action. It is led by SJT. SJT stands for, SJT, the acronym starts for Security and Justice for Tigrayans, because Tigrayan lives matter everywhere. And as an organization, SJT is just a bunch of Tegarus around the world that say we're going to volunteer and dedicate our time to stand and fight for our Tegaru and for all the injustice. We must come together. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So with that, I am going to jump right in. Samhad, welcome.
Thank you, Mike, for having us. Like you said, we have been organizing for this global protest. There's a lot of major cities involved, as well as a lot of people working with us to organize this with SJT, youth and elders as well. It will be this upcoming Thursday. Some times vary depending on your city. It will be global, so it will be international, is what that means. And we are asking, for the stop of selling drones to kill civilians. Like you said, the daily bombardments are getting worse in Tigray, as well as the blocking of humanitarian aid. And then, of course, in Addis, they are putting people in concentration camps. Believe it or not, in 2021, concentration camps are being used in Ethiopia.
Welcome
so
again.
Yeah, that's just. Thank you. So yeah, that's just a couple of the things that we're highlighting. But again, it has been over a year of genocide in Tigray, communications blackout. There has been a siege. Using food as a weapon. The list goes on. Numerous countries against Tigray. I think that's about it.
And I know we're going to go to Angusam in a minute here, but I want you, since I have you on here, I want you to actually talk the three main actions. Obviously, first of all, let me just say how hard you've been working. This was just called last week. We talked about it, and then we've scrambled around and we say, who can generate like a group actually that can unite of all and put together all the work? We're like, oh, somehow can do it. And then he calls you, I text you, you jump on it, you create the group. And then we have Abby. She was trying to see if she can join us tonight, but it doesn't look she will be. But Abby also with the flyers, send her a message, she's on it. And then Ripka from Seattle. And then, just the turnarounds and the work ethic, the unity to make it happen such in a fast environment. The young generation, the young Tegaru who are just devoted and dedicated to do this kind of action. And Angusam, I'll come to you, but while you added somehow, our main three themes as JT wants us to focus are what?
Stop selling drones to Ethiopia, the blocking of the humanitarian aid, and the mass arrest and concentration camps happening in Addis Ababa as we speak. Most, if not all, Tigrayans have been arrested in Addis Ababa simply for just being Tigrayan. No other crimes have been committed. We saw this past week too, they were forced to go to the capital and have a protest against the Tigrayan government by force, or they would also be arrested. It's just, it was just like you said, it was a quick turnaround time because things are getting worse. So we didn't really have any time to spare. So it was kind of like an emergency global protest.
Thank you so much, Samhal. You described it very well. And Gusam, thank you for being patient. Welcome to the cyber part of Tigray Media. Obviously, I know you very well throughout this movement. We used to meet twice a week on Zoom and then in person, we protest together side by side. You've been fighting with all of us, just like any most, concerned Tigrayans. So for this particular one, we call an emergency protest. We had hardly like about a week or so to put it together, and it's coming together. Obviously, you guys are, everybody is tired and working long hours, late night and whatnot. I understand that, but what is the drive about Tegaru? Like just not willing to give up? Is it not an option to give up for our people who are being massacred by a genocider? What are the motivations that gets everybody going?
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Samhal, for all the hard working and both of you. To your point, Mike, yes. So as Tigrayans, we don't give up at all. Our people are fighting over there 24 hours a day, and our brothers and sisters, civilians all over Ethiopia, are being targeted just because they are Tigrayans. And we just have to keep fighting. We have been fighting for the whole 1 year, 24 hours. Like you mentioned, people like Samhal, you and Abi and others on our group. And then we know that, there is protest every week around DC, and then we do protests whenever we can all over. And then not just the protest, we have been fighting almost all year. Every day we meet about Tigray. Every day we talk about Tigray. Half of our life have been talking and discussing, thinking about Tigray. We never missed any single minute without thinking about our family, our people, Tigrayans back home. So we cannot give up fighting for our people because we are the only voice that they have here. Because we all know all the communication is being blocked from Tigray. So our people will not have any other voice. It's us. So we cannot give up. And for sure, we will win. At the end of the day, we are the winners. We will win because we have a cause. We are fighting for our people. So to your question, Mike, we will never give up. We will keep fighting. We will keep being voice for our people. And for sure, we will win.
And of course, among all the cities that we have, listed on a lot of the flyers and social media, we've been trying to, bring awareness to not just the Tigray community throughout the diaspora, but communities who genuinely are concerned about what's happening in Tigray. So you guys in the Bay Area, of course, hosting that morning, I would assume the same time or so, around 10 o'clock or later.
10 a.m. PST, yeah.
That's Pacific Standard Time. And somehow I apologize, I didn't ask you about Denver. So what's up with Denver? You have an update for us?
We will also be meeting at 10 a.m. as well.
Nice. Okay.
At the state capitol.
Very nice. So Portland, Oregon, we're the smaller in the West Coast, but you know what? We huddled together Saturday and we decided no matter what, we're going to show up. So we're going to be downtown Portland, Oregon. So those of you in the Oregon area, Seattle, they're just in a meeting actually right now. I was on the phone right when you guys were logging in. So they're just kind of just trying to finalize it, because for some people it's just such a stressful, because it is a last minute thing. But you know what? What is our Tegaru doing on the battlefield? Men and women, young and old, side by side. They're fighting every single day to defend and protect civilians in Tigray. So when they do that, we have, we can't complain about not getting enough time to prepare. We can't. I understand, people have to take time off from work. There's a lot of juggling we have to do. But if we can do it, we got to do it. We got to get out and voice for our people. Like just what Angusam, you say, we can't give up, because it's not, is it really an option to give up?
No.
And so, what we, from last Friday, what I appreciate is when SJT put this together, Security and Justice for Tigrayans, it was, we had the Oromo community, our Eritrean community members came to our meeting. Obviously, these protests is initiated and led by SJT, and SJT basically say, hey, you are the leaders of tomorrow. You are everything to Tigray. We need you to organize, to put it together however you want to put it together. And whenever you need our support, our guidance, whatever you need, we are here. And they just put it out to us. And you guys just, put the entire effort in a matter of like what the flyer was like put together in half a day, basically, before we start viewing it. And then basically we put the save the date, and then this final one took a couple of days. I think after the Friday meeting, basically by Saturday late afternoon or Sunday, I think it was about
Saturday.
Ready to go for Saturday. Okay, so basically the next day we were good to go. It's just the speed of the TDF and the diaspora. So what does TDF and the diaspora mean to you, Samad?
TDF and the diaspora means to me relentless. I would say that we're relentless. It is using our pain and hurt as fuel to keep going and fight for our people, because most of us haven't spoken with our family members in over a year. And, it's an indescribable feeling to miss people that you don't even know are alive or dead. Like, you don't get the luxury of mourning. We haven't been able to mourn, even if we do know that people are not alive. Like, we don't have time to stop. So it's been inspirational, like you said, like amongst advocating and doing everything that we're doing. Like, most people do have jobs and careers, and it's pretty amazing to see how they've incorporated that into Tigray and our daily lifestyles as well. Like, I know that when we're at the grocery store, whenever we have an ear to listen, we're like, hey, like, did you know there's a genocide happening? We have found a way to insert Tigray in every single room, like, outside of church, like our extracurricular activities, all of our social media campaigns. So TDF, Tigray Diaspora Force, like, they have been relentless in making sure that even though we are the minority, in Ethiopia and even here, like, I think one of the biggest letdowns early on, of course not now, was when the Ethiopian diaspora, not only did they like not stand with us, but up until now, like, they were extremely silent. So imagine if, you had those people who were saying no to war very early on before the war came to their doorstep, if they would have said no to war, like, and we would have had more allies. So I think it was just that, and the transitioning of like losing so many people because they don't stand for your people. So I think it has been an extremely like difficult time with the transitioning of, loss of family and friends, like, and then just constantly, carrying the burden of knowing the brunt of what our people are going through in Tigray with this like little bits of information that we have been getting.
Thank you, Samad. So guess what? The other TDF just popped right in while we're talking about TDF. Look at that. I have no idea. He just popped right in, just like the way TDF does it. Jamad, welcome.
Thank you, bro. What's going on? How you guys doing?
We're doing good. So look, we just finished up about the flyer, obviously. I know you're part of this crew. You've been everywhere in America protesting. In fact, you traveled like it's to Sudan when I was in Sudan. So you fighting for Tigray, and I think I've asked them, is it an option for Tigrayans in the diaspora to give up?
Definitely not, especially not right now with what's going on. This is actually the time for us to start like how it was in the beginning a year ago. We need that same energy right now because it's vital. The drones are flying 24 hours. They got drones from Russia, they got drones from China, Iran, and they're using United Arab Emirates flights to transport them. Al Jazeera had reported on that, and it's actually underreported. So yeah, this is the time to advocate for our people even more, and it's more urgent than ever, in my opinion. Just like how it was in the beginning of the war.
And speaking of drones, I'm going to let you guys listen to this for a sec. This is actually exactly what they're talking about, what Jamal is talking about. Coincidentally, he had no idea what I'm doing, but I happen to have it on my screen. So it is very easy. Tigray Television just took a portion of it, and I reported on it last week. But this is what Jamal is talking about. Take a look.
ጀዚራ በሳተላይት ያገኘው ምስል አስደግፈው የውጭ ሀገራት ዘመናዊ የጦር ጀቶችና ድሮኖች ወዘተ ለፋሺስቱ ቡድን ማቅረባቸውና በጦርነቱ ተሳታፊ መሆናቸው አጋልጧል።
Al Jazeera has obtained satellite images that show the United Arab Emirates is providing military support to the Ethiopian army.
የተባበሩት አረብ ኤምሬት ሁለት ኩባንያዎች በመክፈት ለዚሁ ተግባር 90 በረራዎች ጭኖ ማመላለሱን ጭምር በዘገባው አመላክቷል። መጠነ ሰፊ ዘመቻ ለማካሄድ ያስችለው ዘንድ የጦር ጀቶች፣ ኤርክራፍቶችና ቻይና ሰራሽ ድሮኖችን ለፋሺስቱ የአብይ ቡድን ድጋፍ ማድረጋቸውን የአደባባይ ሚስጥር ሆኗል። የአውሮፓ ህብረት ፓርላማ አባል አየርላንዳዊው ማይክ ዊላስ የአውሮፓ ህብረት አባል ሀገራት የችግሩ አካል መሆናቸው በጦርነቱ እጃቸው ማስገባታቸውን ገልጿል።
I believe that a foreign military intervention would not help, and I don't believe sanctions will help.
የጦር መሳሪያ የሚያቀርቡትን ሀገራት ለምንድን ነው የአውሮፓ ህብረት የማይጠይቀው? በእኔ እምነት የሀገራቱ ጣልቃ ገብነትም
So to manage our time, I know that I want to be mindful that Jamal, you're still at work. We appreciate you jumping in while you're in the midst of work. And for Samhal, I know she is about an hour behind us, so it's almost midnight. So Jamal, I'm going to jump with you real quick so I can let you go. You mentioned about the drone. What you see, Mick Walls has been fighting for us from day one. This guy is a true champion, like others. I think Jamal has to step away, but let's see. On Gustav, I'm going to come to you. So you saw what's going on. Precisely what SJT wants to do is, or there you go, you're back. Awareness to.
Sorry, man, I'm at work. That's why I had to step out. But yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So I'll let you jump right in. So I'm talking just a clip that we show, the video that what you were referring to. Al Jazeera reported on how systematically they were brought by United Arab Emirates, even though U.S. government asked them to leave from Eritrea, they left. They continue to do it. In fact, they elevated it. They were bringing like massive weapons that the drones can continue to kill civilians in Tigray. And so when you see something like this investigated and there's evidence on the ground and no action is taken by the international community, as Tigrayans, what is it that we haven't done to bring the full awareness and the fact on the ground to the international community so that international community can wake up?
I mean, in my opinion, we've done a lot so far, and I mean, we've showed them, we've told them what's going on. The drones, they know exactly. They have told the UAE to stop providing them drones, and they're not only providing their own drones, but they're also transporting other countries' drones. So at this point, I mean, we have let the whole world know. So in my opinion, what else can we do? Just keep fighting and until they stop it, because we are letting the world know these drones are still being sold. The United States knows. It's being reported on Al Jazeera, and they have satellites. They see the movement of the drones. So at this point, it's not what we haven't done or what we have done. It's about the world and what they haven't done. You know, the world is ignoring us no matter what. That's what's going on. They are not doing their jobs when they should be pushing the world. I mean, those countries that are taking part in this to stop, and especially the Emirates. There is a lot of leverage the U.S. has on the Emirates because it's an allied country with the United States. So I strongly believe this is the fault of the international community, and they are still being silenced. And it's still words, the words are getting stronger and stronger, but no action is being taken. So the world needs to take action. That's my opinion. There is nothing else at this point. We're doing the activism. We're doing. We're letting the whole world know. They know already. So we can't physically go in there and take out the drones ourselves. This is for the international community to take action. So we just need to keep alerting the international community. We need to, whether it's protests or petitions or talking to senators or whatever it is, we need results, because so far all we have seen was concerns, and concerns is not enough, especially when there is numerous drones. It's ridiculous. Like, there's drones that's flying nonstop on Maqala for hours and hours, so it's just as an unjust thing that's happening. It's unfair, and the world needs to step in and stop it, basically.
And Los Angeles, real quick, I'll let you go, Jamal, but Los Angeles having it, and you guys are having other communities join you as well. You want to talk about that real quickly before you go?
Yeah, so let me just talk about Los Angeles and get back to work. But so on the 9th of December, we're going to be having a protest. It's going to be in the federal building in Los Angeles. We're going to cover a couple areas. The university is there. UCLA is there. So we're going to walk to UCLA. We're going to walk to Dianne Feinstein office, which is around the back. So we want everybody from Los Angeles and surrounding areas to come. We're trying to make it a joint protest between all the oppressed, mainly the Oromo community. So we urge for the Oromo community to join us. We're going to be starting at 9 a.m. The flyers are posted on Tegaru events on Instagram, and they are also posted on Tigray Times, Tigray Times, on Instagram as well. So yeah, just come, show up. It's not only Tigray fight, but it's also your fight as Oromos or any group of people that's oppressed by the government. So just come out, let your voice heard, and oppose this brutal government, and let's make a stop to it once and for all.
Thank you so much, Jamal. I know you're busy, so we will let you, unless you have anything else that you forgot, but we will let you go so you can get back to work, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Yeah, so I'll go. Just right before I go, I just want to say, this is the urgency is more urgent than ever. In my opinion, it's even more urgent than when the war first started, because the drones that they got now are not like the drones that they had before. They are more sophisticated, more dangerous, and there are many countries that are involved. So let's keep working hard for this genocide to be called genocide as it is, because therefore all these countries that are contributed indirectly or directly to this genocide will be and should be held accountable. So let's not stop this fight. And my message to the Oromo community especially, we need to unite together, and they need to come in numbers, because this is their fight. And Oromia as well, a lot of people are being killed. So they need to join us in this, because this is our fight together. So we need to stop the mass arrest in Addis Ababa, the mass arrest all over Ethiopia, of Tegaru mainly, but as well as Oromos that are being arrested, that are sympathizers of Tigrayans or sympathizers of the junta, how they call it. So this is my message to everybody. Just, involve yourself in the activism. involve yourself in all the protests that we have, and come out more stronger than ever.
Excellent. Thank you. We appreciate you again. I think I'm going to jump into you, Angasam. So we know what's happening.
Guys, I'll see you.
Take care, buddy. Thank you.
Bye, Jamal.
Bye. Tigray Terwet.
Tigray Terwet, indeed.
So I want you guys to take a look at this. Does this look familiar to you guys? This is let me play that real quick.
ብሮችን በርግዶ የሉዓላዊነት ድንበር ደረማምሶ የትግራይ ህዝብ ለማጥፋት
This is Eritrean troops.
የጋበዛቸው ኤርትራና ሶማሊያም የራሷ
So take a look. This is what they stole from Tigray. This is how low they came. Look at that. I mean, seriously.
ባሮባት የሰው ታማስ ስላለች እንዲሉ በሳይትና የጦር አቅም በመጠቀም በትግራይ ወረራ በማከ
You see that little chair? Plastic chair? They're that desperate. I mean, the looting, the destruction, the genocide, the rape, everything that have happened. Now they're shifting, bringing drones from China, drones from Iran, drones from Turkey. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on. But this is the kind of thing that if those who are out there telling us that, show us the evidence, this is the evidence. So to all the Eritrean brothers and sisters out there that are confused, that are supporting Hegdef is the Eritrean military. This is what they did in Tigray.
እነኚህ ብቻ አይደሉም የአረብ ኤምሬትስ ድሮኖችም በየከተማው የስንት ህይወት እንደቅጠል አርግፏል በመሳሪያ ሽያጭ ኪሳቸው ከማደለብ በዘለለም ስለ ሰብአዊነት ሆነ የሰው ህይወት ቅንጣትም ደንታ የሌላቸው እነ ቻይናና ሩሲያ የመሳሰሉ ሀገራትም የትግራይ ጄኖሳይድ
So this is what the drones are doing in Tigray against civilians. So when you see these kind of images somehow, what goes through your mind? What we're supposed to do as Tigrayans when we see our people being bombed day and night, and these are children that have nothing to do with what's going on. They don't even understand why this is happening to them.
I mean, it's very heavy. Like, you know, like even at this point, you're still not desensitized. Like a year in, like it's still very hard to watch, hard to bear, but it also like gives you more motivation to fight because you know like we matter, we exist for more than ourselves, and that's what this entire movement is about. It's about us, you know, advocating, using our privilege to advocate for others in our homeland. So I think that that says a lot in itself, and like just like watching that, it brings it back full circle because I remember this time last year, the argument was that there are no Eritrean troops in Tigray, you know, that was like, they were changing their uniforms, like wearing Ethiopian uniforms, but, you know, Eritreans were swearing up and down, as well as others, that there was no Eritrean presence in Tigray. And me personally, my mom was actually there in Tigray around this time. So when she came back, you know, she gave her eyewitness testimony, and I'll never forget that, how she said, like, you know, from my grandmother's house, they stole like diapers and baby formula. So they left nothing, you know, from like the mattress, they took the jackets off their back, but like diapers and baby formula, you know? So like it speaks to the desperation. Like we're seeing the jerry cans now, but like even then before, like stripped of everything, you know? So it doesn't shock me to see that. Because I see it, you know what I see it as? I see it as like a prison. And what happened was like, you opened up the prison and you let all these prisoners out, right? Who had no sense of reality, who were pretty much institutionalized, and you let them have freedom. So what are they going to do? You know, like they're going to slaughter, kill, loot, because they've never had, you know, like they were saying, like they didn't even know what an ATM machine were. They're like, oh, in Tigray, they have these machines spitting out money. Like, it's just like, you know, being in an oppressive state for that long too they're institutionalized. Not that it gives it an excuse, but it's just like, prisoners set free. And I blame Ethiopia, if anything, for welcoming these invaders and allowing them to do whatever that they want and selling, Tigray to Eritrea. And then all the other countries like Russia, UAE, Turkey, China, Somalia, like I think it's just even more, the chemical warfare that they were using, internationally banned chemicals on top of the drones. It's just like literally a testament to Tigray's strength, like we're still not counted out. We still haven't gave up, and we are still winning regardless of what they're saying. Like it's kind of, it's comical because it's like Tigray versus everybody in the entire world. Like the UN, the African Union, their favorite slogans are deeply concerned, deeply concerned. Like the difference between now and a year ago is we have, confirmed testimonies. We have CNN, we have BBC, everyone's reported on it, and everyone besides the delusional Ethiopians have confirmed that there is a genocide happening in Tigray. So, like I said, I think it's up to Tigray to save Tigray because the rest of the world has literally been deaf to our cries, sadly.
Yeah, Mike, I think Samhal said it all. I imagine those Eritreans, think of, they have been working as slaves in the gardens of their military supervisors for their life. And when they got out now and their supervisors told them to take whatever they can, whatever they want from Tigray, they're just collecting whatever they found on their way. They don't even know what is being used, what is going to benefit them or not. So as Samhal said, I think we need to focus on our efforts. We are the only, we will be the only ones who are going to save our people. So back to the point where Jamal mentioned, people like Russia and China, they have been doing proxy wars in Ethiopia and supplying the Ethiopian fascist government against Tigray. Now they are even coming up in full hands. They are not doing proxy wars. They are directly being involved in the Tigray war. They are supporting the genocidal government of Ethiopia against Tigray. So we need to leverage our efforts and be a voice to our people and let the international community know. Even if they don't do anything, our responsibility is to let them know, to let the international community know what's happening, to let the UN and the world know what's happening, because they know what's happening, but we still need to tell them, to keep telling them until they take action. It's like a war, just one region against the whole world, I would say. So we need to keep voicing and being a voice to our people. We need to keep fighting. We cannot give up. It's like Jamal said it at the beginning. This is like a top priority right now. Even it's more than urgent than what it was on November 4th of 2020 when the war begins. So every Tigrayan, we need to be very active and go out every day and do whatever we can to save our people. You are on mute, Mike.
So before we close our segment, some of the Ethiopians and some of the sellout like Harmela Aragawi have this slogan that says, and I literally mean when I say sellout Harmela Aragawi, she was once Tigrawati, and then she sold her soul and her life to have a boyfriend from Eritrea and to have money from the Amhara. And I mean it. So Harmela, if you want to come and argue, I will give you an opportunity. I remember, in LA coming out protesting with us until her mother made it here to America. And then she sold her soul once her mother made it safe to the United States of America. And I am disgraced and ashamed that a Tigrawati will go to that level for money. You made $150,000 on the bloods of Tegaru. I hope that burns you in hell. I mean, literally.
Honestly, honestly though, I see that and I feel that, but I'm also proud because they had to literally be led by a Tigrayan. Like it still goes to show you that these people cannot march without us. These people cannot speak without us. These people, like, I wouldn't let Tigray go either. They are being led by a Tigrayan. So for 1 year, there was no movement, no activity. They had absolutely no idea. And it's like, to be honest, like Carmela wasn't even top 10, you know? She was pretty average, like even in her activism before, like it was just kind of like, we let you have that. And it took you a year. Like it took you a year and you stole our entire playbook. So again,
Yeah.
it just goes to tell you, like, you know, they want to be us so bad and they're allowing themselves. They had not a country of over 100 million people. I don't know how many of them are in the diaspora, but you didn't have an Ethiopian. There was not one Ethiopian who was suitable enough to lead your movement. If you're going to copy everything that we're going to do anyways, you know?
By the way, I want to, so I have a question I'm going to come back to, but before I do that, one of the things that I think Angusam, you can jump on this one, is that we need to stop like tagging her on social media. When we do Twitter and all these things and we, you know, tag her on it, you know what's helping her to do? It's helping her to, because Twitter, all this social media, they're looking at the number of clicks that you get in and the number of like tagging that you're receiving. So the more tagging that you receive, the more clicks that you receive, the more you're going to be popping in the front line, meaning that we are giving her more thumbs up, thinking we're venting at her. So talk about it, but don't share her social media, please. Don't click on her social media, please. You literally, I mean this, and I've meant to say it in every show that I have hosted, but I keep, you know, I mean, to me, you know, they're worthless. Seriously, they're worthless people. And here's why they're worthless. Here's why. They have you all know this. They have a slogan that says "No more, Africa unite," and they're saying America is supplying weapons and fighting with Tigray. Okay, which is not true, right? But if they say "No more, Africa unite," they don't want the outside world to get involved in Ethiopia. Why is Israel providing them intelligence? Why is Turkey supplying them with drones and weapons? $100 million, what's estimated that Turkey has given to Ethiopia so far. In return, they know they're going to get Ethiopian airline, Ethiopian telecommunication, the gold that was in the reserve bank that has never been done before has been taken out actually and given to United Arab Emirates as a guarantee for cash flow. And so if they want to say no more, we say no more to Turkey. We say no more to Israel. We say no more to China. We say no more to United Arab Emirates. We say no more to Iran. Hands off Ethiopia and let Ethiopians determine what the fight is going to be, because Tigrayans are Ethiopians until there is a day Tigray becomes a nation. Today, Tigray is part of Ethiopia. So for those of you coward out there, say no more. Yes, say no more to those who are providing you weapons to use it on civilians in Tigray. Angusam, I'll let you take the baton from me.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. So regarding Hermela, I don't even want to mention her. Let's not just talk about her, but even we can talk about maybe Abiy Ahmed Ali. We don't have to talk about him. Let's just focus on our efforts, what we need to do, all that stuff. If there is something that we need to mention him because he's a criminal, then we can mention him. But let's not spend any single minute of mentioning him, talking about him, what he is doing, all that stuff. That's what where we are good. What Tigrayans are good. We don't care about our enemies. What if they are 15 minutes? If they are working on 15 minutes fame, let them do their drama. Let's just focus on our move. So that's one. And on the drone supplies, no more movement. He said, those our enemies, those people, they are double standards. Like if they have a rule that says, for example, free speech, then that only works for them. It doesn't work for the other side. They only have one side truth. So when they say no more, they mean no more, like, they don't want the people or the countries or the leaders who are truthful on the side of the truth. They don't want them to be involved on what's happening in Ethiopia. But they still want those countries who are supporting their genocidal cause to support them. So they are double standard. We all know that. So again, it's like Tigray against the whole world right now fighting. We don't have our own foreign policy. We don't have our military. We don't have our own money. We are a region. We are not even a country, but yet still we are fighting against multi countries, against a lot of countries, huge countries with technologies and military supplies. Yet still we are winning. We are defeating them on the battlefields. That's what Tigray means. That's our identity. We will keep fighting for our people, and at the end of the day, we will win.
Well, I will say this. I agree with you to many degree, but I will say this. I will say no more Hermela Aragawi. No more clicking her tweets. No more tagging Hermela Aragawi. She's a sellout banda. If you know what banda means, you know what I mean. Okay. No more Abiy Ahmed Ali. No more Isas Afawarki. No more Amhara elite. No more Hagdaf. No more civilian death in Tigray and anywhere in the continent. No more
Ethiopia.
No more Russia, China, Emirates, Turkey, Israel, Ukraine. How do we forget all of us? So Ukraine is part of this game. We want all this outside Africa, these countries that are involved in Africa. Hell of you all. Stay away from Africa. Stay in your own pocket. If you want to do something good in the genocide in Tigray, there is a genocide in Tigray. There's a humanitarian blockage to Tigray, and genocide was committed in Tigray. So those of you who are continuously participating, rest assured you, this will come into an end. When it does, including Hermel Aragawi, I hope you will be liable for all the atrocities committed in Tigray, and every word that comes out of your mouth, I hope that you will be financially and legally liable, including the pain and suffering that you put in all the diaspora, because our family, and I'm sorry, Angusam, I respect you, but when I say Harmel Aragawi, she was fighting with us saying, stop the genocide in Tigray until February of 2021. And when her mother made it from Mekelle all the way here, then she flipped the switch because she went after her boyfriend and money. And that is a sellout. That's banda. I'm going to come back to you somehow.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. So sorry, someone.
No,
I agree. I was just saying
I just got a little bit emotional.
We shouldn't.
Not at you.
Yeah, we shouldn't spend our we shouldn't waste any time or energy on those. Like, for me, as I said, she's just a trash for me. I don't wanna even spend any energy. So, but I agree for all what you said. When we come to the end, we will talk with us individually. We will tell them, we will keep them responsible, and we will do whatever we can to bring them to justice legally.
Very true. Very true. It's just, sometimes, how it is when you're with your family, when you're with like people that care about you, you just want to let it out. And that's just what I did. So somehow, do you want to wrap it up for us here? I know that it's late night, but we want to thank for all the young Tegaru, of course, the community, the diaspora, all Tigrayans. You all are amazing. Obviously, SJT, Security and Justice for Tigrayans, leading this movement. What is it? December what? I'm going to let you take over, Samad.
December 9th at 10 a.m.
And what are the countries listed?
I know we have Stockholm, Sweden, Australia, Europe, Israel. What else am I missing? Canada. And then the U.S. cities. I know Boston, Denver, LA, Oregon, DC, a couple other ones. Bay Area.
Los Angeles.
I said Los Angeles.
Oh, Denver. We get it. You got you. We got you there.
Denver.
Did he say Dallas?
Dallas? No, I didn't.
Florida.
Florida.
Most likely they're going to do it in Miami, but I don't want to say it because we just had in the meeting last Friday on Friday. We had a couple people, and they did say that Florida is going to move forward with it. Minnesota is pushing forward. I believe it's going to happen, so we count on that. Canada, they've got different cities, different planning, so we're trying to keep them on board. Seattle, we're keeping fingers crossed. They're going to try to make it the same day. There's a possibility they might shift it to Saturday, but the whole deal is we want a uniform. We're going to, share the slogans. We're going to have SJT prepare letters. We're going to have all the support that we need. We're going to have RQ codes. So we have more information. Thank you. So I think you guys feel we're ready to go?
Yeah, and then just so that we're everybody's on the same page, you can check Tegaru events. They have all the flyers listed, as well as SJT. I saw a collage of all the different cities. So if you're not sure if your city is participating, or maybe you can join a surrounding city, if that's a possibility. I know New York might join DC. I know they're still kind of working on things, but if not, then they will all be commuting to DC. So if your city is not having one, try to find an area that's close to you that you can participate. And yeah, we will have uniform slogans for everyone, as well as the QR codes, and then a letter as well.
And this video is going to be uploaded to the SJT website, the Security and Justice for Tigrayans. So if you're not aware who SJT is an organization that's fighting and standing for Tigrayans everywhere in the world, because our life matters just like everyone else. Like when we say Black Lives Matter, Tegaru lives matter everywhere as well. And guess I'll let you have the last word.
Thank you, Mike. You all said it right. So we can keep having those meetings when we want to leverage and push our energy more. On December 9th, I would invite every Tigrayan in every corner of the world to join our cause, our protest. As Sam had mentioned, if you're not sure if your city is hosting this protest, check our Tigrayan websites, like the Tigray events on Instagram, Facebook. We have been posting them everywhere. And then please make sure you join. This is important. This is very important. We have to show up for our people and keep fighting. We as Tigrayans, we will never give up, as we said earlier. So please try to make it to the December 9th protest. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. We're going to end it here. And Tigray sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.